right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody is doing well. To the normal logistics drama that we have to go through every week. Make sure technology is doing what it's supposed to do. Um, all right, let's see. Is anything happening? All right, I think I see it live. Okay. All right, we're going live on LinkedIn as well. All right, great. Now I have to figure out how to deal with the audio. All right, awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. I think I'm live. Everywhere needs to be live now. So, um, let me know if you can hear me. That is the, as I'm muting the sound back, but I hope I haven't muted my microphone as alongside that. But anyway, we'll keep again. It's I know at some point this is what happens when you're doing a solo when you're solo riding these things. But anyway, we will continue to get it done. But I'm excited. Welcome to another session, another episode of Thriving Beyond Borders with the Nambi. I am Nambi Henach, the founder here at African American Collective, and today I have an exciting topic that I'm excited about exploring, and that is career and purpose, how to align what you do with who you are. This is super important. How to align who you are and what you do. That is the gist. And I was telling my team earlier when I saw the topic, this is giving a lot of sermon energy. It's giving sermon vibes. Like it feels like something you preach, preaching energy. But the conversation around purpose is not only a church conversation; it is a real life conversation. We definitely want to ensure that the things we do, or where we invest our energy, is aligned with our passions, our calling, and it's super important. And my question, as I've try to frame the conversation for you today, is: Are you working a job or living your calling? Right? Is there an alignment there? Are you just working a job? Are you just, again, this is thriving beyond borders. And so when we talk about thriving, are you just in that realm where it's a job, it's just a job, and that's all it is? Or are you thriving? Are you living out your calling? A lot of the time, many people feel stuck in jobs because of the mindset we've always carried. Um, and there's different people, different schools of thought around calling and passion and your job. I've seen a lot of people make very derogatory in the bid to motivate, in the desire to inspire people to maybe focus on their business or invest energy in their personal endeavors and not just paid employment. They talk down on paid employment and the things people do, and that is that's very wrong. That is literally not just very wrong, that's terrible. And so it is a it's something that we need to doing. Working paid employment doesn't mean you're out of alignment with your passion, or it doesn't mean you're not doing your living out your calling. um, you can do both. It can really be both, right? I think it is wrong to just assume that because you're an entrepreneur, doing what you want to do, or quote unquote doing what you do, you're the one who is in alignment with your call, and then the person who is not, who works paid employment or who works for an employer, is not, or is out of alignment with their destiny, with their calling. I think that's totally wrong, and honestly, that's just wrong. That's flat out. There's no data to back that up. Some people find fulfillment in doing their 9 to 5, and not because it pays the bills and not because it affords them, quality of life or anything, but they really find fulfillment. They feel like this is in alignment with what I'm called to do, right? This is in alignment with who I am. It's that alignment. And so I wanted to start by debunking that you don't have to be your own boss, or not have a boss to say I am in purpose, or I'm living out my passions. You can actually accomplish that even as a paid employee. Now that we have that out of the way, I want to address the other parts. That is, sometimes you might feel stuck, right? People might feel stuck in roles and jobs that don't reflect who they are, right? They feel like I'm doing this, but it's just paying the bills, or I have to do this because, like, you don't want to be in that space where work only means being able to afford to, pay your bills and do things. That's not what it should be, right? So some of the signs that there's a misalignment when it comes to the job or what you do, and again, you can actually run your own business and still feel this way. Like, you can be your own boss and still have this same feeling of like, why am I investing all of this time here? Why am I doing all of this and it's not yielding? If your primary purpose of getting into the business was focused on, just making a living or making ends meet, right? There is the tendency, or there is the chance that you might be also experiencing the same thing the person who is doing a 9 to 5 and hates their job. You probably have the same feelings. You don't like your customers, you don't like the people you deal with, you like who you get to do work with. And so it cuts both ways. So what are some signs that you are out of alignment? One, you dread Mondays, right? You dread going to open the shop. You dread going to work. You're not excited. The joy that comes with, so the fulfillment that comes with work, you don't feel that until Mondays come and you're like, energy leaves your body just thinking about Monday, that it's Monday. You feel drained instead of fulfillment, right? Getting things done doesn't lead to fulfillment for you. It leaves it drains you, right? And so that's a sign of misalignment. You get things done, you accomplish, like, success doesn't bring satisfaction. It's like you're getting things done, you are accomplishing stuff, but you are not feeling the fullness that comes with, okay, I got this done and I'm excited about it, right? It's something I really want everyone to experience. I enjoy what I do in the line of work that I've been privileged to be in, whether as an entrepreneur, like a lot of social impact work, as a leader, community leader. Like, every time we do a pull off an event, or even if it's one, two, like with the minimal attendance, there's always a satisfaction that I have. I feel like when I've one more person is better off because I'm doing my calling, I'm leaving out my assignments. And that's huge, and that's something I pray for everyone to experience. The satisfaction that comes with doing meaningful work, impactful, doing stuff that you can see the impact of what you do. It's a very, very fulfilling place to be. And I can also tell you about being in job situations. Like, I have stories upon stories of being in job situations where no matter what I got done, I didn't feel full, right? I didn't feel the, man, I got stuff done today. Like, yay, let's do this, let's go. Can't wait to on to the next one and kill the next thing. I've been in situations where accomplishment or success did not lead to satisfaction, right? And so it is possible, but that could be a pointer to the fact that you are out of alignment. Like, your career, your day to day is not in alignment with your passions and your purpose. Right. So, what is the difference between the two? Right? Career is what you do for a living, right? Your skills, your profession, your roles. You are a doctor, that is your career. You are a database engineer like myself, right? You are, an entrepreneur like me, a serial entrepreneur, social impact initiative leader, whatever it is. Like, you do daily, that's your career. It revolves around your skills, your profession, your area of expertise, the title you hold, executive director. That's that's career. Your purpose is why you exist, right? And that is wrapped into your values. What's important to you? It's wrapped into your passions, right? What makes you tick? What are you excited about? What will you like? You lean towards just doing this because you're just drawn to doing this thing. The impact you want to make. What's that area where you feel like, anytime I find myself doing this or serving this community, serving this group, I feel fulfilled. That is purpose, right? That is the how do I want to be remembered question. How do I, that accomplishment, feeling of accomplishment. That's powerful. That's purpose, right? So while careers are along or aligned with what you day to day do, aligned with your skills, your profession, the roles. Purpose is around your reason, your why you are here. Purpose, like why then why am I here, right? That's always the question around purpose. So it's why you exist, why you are here, and it's again encapsulated in your values, what's important to you. It's a pointer to your purpose. What are the things that you are, that's exciting for you, the things you're passionate about. Some people like helping, some people do not want to do that, right? Some people go into, say, the medical profession, for example, because I want to help people. That is, beginning to find that alignment between purpose and career, right? And so it's what you do versus who you are. And that is the difference between the two. And let me know in the chat if you need more clarity on this. I'll be glad. Again, this feels very Sunday vibe-ish with this conversation. Now, they don't have to compete, they can align. Right? A lot of times we feel like we have to, it's either one or the other, or you're always trading one or for the other. No, both can align, right? And that is what I'm trying to talk about today, and I want you to start thinking about that. They don't have to compete, they can align. Purpose is not always specific to your job title, it's bigger. It's the why behind what you do, right? It's the why behind. So it's you can find fulfillment. You can be living out your purpose inside of your career, inside of your role, inside of your job, and ultimately that is what all of us should be are working towards, whether it's in paid employment, whether it's you as an entrepreneur doing your own thing. That should be what we are striving, towards. What are some steps for alignment? How do we? I'm trying to give us like practically now. How do we start getting the two to align? That is my purpose, my passion, my values, things that are important to me. How do I get those to align with what I do? And so this is kind of like breaking this down into a few steps, and I'm going to go through this very quickly and to encapsulate this in the time that we have, and hopefully we get more opportunities to continue this conversation. But it starts with self-discovery, right? It starts with self-discovery. What are your core values? A lot of people don't have values that they live by. What are your core values? Identifying those things, your value system, what is important to you, what is non-negotiables for you, right? You can't be talking about purpose discovery or self-discovery without identifying your value system, your core values. What's important for you. What are the things that, like, your value system help your decision making. It's you're going to make important decisions based off of your value system. If you don't have one, you're always going to be confused around what's important, where to invest your energy, or where not to. Right. So identify your core values, identify your strengths, identify your passions, right? The things you're naturally good at. Those are your strengths. Like, just naturally, you excel at doing these things without effort, or with minimal effort. You're able to just be at the top of your top of the class doing this one thing. Those are strengths. It doesn't come naturally to everyone, but you and the few people who have similar strengths, this is something. Some people, they turn on the camera, they can talk easy, no stress. They don't have to prepare, they don't have to do any of that. It's a strength. For some, they have to give themselves a motivational speech, a pep talk, before you can come in front of a camera, a virtual audience, to even do or say anything, right? So that is, what are those strengths for you? You need to be aware. When we talk about self-discovery, it's knowing, strengths, passions, what excites you. What do you love, right? What are you passionate about? For some it's cars, for some it's different things, right? It's helping people, it's teaching, right? For some it's just people's passions differ. Passions, your strengths, what you're good at, and your core values. It's we have this very and again, I'm sure you've heard this very cliche question, like what creates that, what lights me up, and what sets my soul on fire, all of that. That's those are questions you have to ask in the journey to discovery of purpose, right? And then what drains me, like I do not want to do this. Anytime I think about it, energy leaves my body, right? That is the the contrary, to that's how to know what not to be interested in. That's not my passion. I don't want to do that. So step one is self-discovery, right? So now we're talking about how to align career and purpose. Number two, skill and passion mapping, right? So now that you've identified your strengths, your values, write down your skills. And skills can be hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills are the ones you go acquire, right? Like you've paid, you've honed it, you become good at it. That is a skill, right? And soft skills are the non-tangibles, right? Communication, analytical thinking, problem solving. Those are soft skills. The skills that you have, whether you've developed them or whether they are natural to you, write them down. And then write down your passions. So write down your skills and your passions. These are the things I do really well, skill. These are the things I love to do, passion. Write them down and start looking for intersections. The things that I love to do and the things that I do well, where do they begin to intersect? Where do they begin to meet? Where do they begin to marry? Where is that intersection? I love to talk. I love to teach. I am a trained public speaker. The section, right? Have built a skill that aligns with a passion. You're beginning to see the correlation, right? It's look for those things. I love sports, and then you've signed up and you've equipped yourself with the skill. You signed up for an academy in sports, maybe for to play football or soccer or basketball. You've acquired a skill that aligns with your love for sports, passion, skill, right? And this, it can apply to anything. Okay, some people are passionate about their faiths and all of that, and then they've have skills that align, that they can use. Well, I am really good with social media. Maybe I want to leverage that to tell more people about my faith. All right, so different ways. Again, find skills and then do that skill and passion mapping. All right, map your skills and your passion. Find those intersections and do that mapping exercise. And then next is reframe your current role, right? Look at your job right now that you do. Even if your job is not perfect, find ways to align it with your values, right? Whether it's around mentoring or volunteering, right? Choices of projects, right? So if you work in tech, for example, and you work in a company, they have specific clients that do things that you love and you want, you can opt to support, you can volunteer and say, hey, I want to support this group. I'm going to leverage my technical skills to support this client. You know that it's because they align, what they do is in alignment with things that you're passionate about, right? That's one way. So find opportunities within what you do, where you can leverage your skills to serve your passions, right? Because again, that's where that satisfaction begins to come, it begins to happen. So now that you've done this mapping, again, look at the opportunities within what you do. Your job itself might not be your job title, or your organization might not necessarily have a direct alignment with your passions or something, but there has to be specific areas, right? There might be opportunities even within the organization where you can volunteer if there's alignments with things that you're passionate about, that things that you love. So look for those things, right? It might be, oh, go be a volunteer as a mentor. You work within the school system and it's okay, I love to mentor. Maybe your job is driving the bus, but there's opportunities for you to be a mentor, or something like that. Find those alignments. And again, I'm pulling out random examples, but I hope I'm painting a good enough picture for you to see. The whole idea is, this is striving beyond borders, right? You want to, if you don't find if you don't find the joy and the satisfaction in what you do every day, you will not give your best. You will not be your best at it. And ultimately, you miss out on the opportunity to make an impact. And when we talk about thriving and really representing ourselves as, Africans here in the diaspora and doing well, it's important that this alignment begins to happen so that we can continue to live up to the expectations and live up to the creed of who we are as resilient people. All right, so reframe your current role. Look for those alignments, right? It won't be perfect. It won't. You didn't create the job for yourself. Especially if you're working a job, even within your business, maybe the things you're passionate about, lean into doing those things. And the ones you don't like are the ones you get contractors to do, that you get employees to do, that you get interns to do, right? Delegate the things you don't enjoy, that you feel no desire to do as the boss, and focus on the things that you're passionate about. You in this business, you like to teach, you like to talk, you like to motivate. Do the things that feed that. Take on all of the job descriptions or all of the tasks and responsibilities that feed, that you are that align with your passion. Do that. The ones that don't, outsource, contract, employ. Make sense? All right. And then pivot where necessary. That's number four. You need to have the courage to pivot where necessary. All right. Sometimes, alignment requires bold moves. It might be a new job, right? If what you're doing now, again, please, I am not in the school of thought that is, quit your job or drop out of school and pursue your passion, right? Quit your job and then just go start a career in music. You better have a plan. Especially if you have a family, we are. Remember who we are. I'm talking to immigrants right now. You have a family. Even if you don't have your immediate family, you have your siblings back home. You have people depending on you. You have money to send. You have obligations to meet and fulfill. And so we can't be willy-nilly with our decision making and like I want to pursue my passion and so I'm going to quit school. Oh no, 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 no. Don't do that if you're on F1. Don't do that here. Right? Don't walk away. You're an F1 student, you're your OPT, you're navigating. Nope, don't do that. Have a plan, right? Draw up a proper transition plan. And so sometimes aligning with your purpose will require those bold moves. It should be bold but not, it's I don't want to say spontaneous, or it should be thought out, right? It shouldn't be spur of the moment. Okay, this I'm just going to quit with no plan. I'm just going to walk away from my job with no plan. No, don't do that. Have a plan. What am I aspiring towards? How do I work towards that? Do I need to start saving money so that I can be start, it's like whatever it is, think through it. But you might need to make bold moves if for all I've described now, maybe the job you do has no opportunity that aligns anywhere. And the only way that can have the satisfaction is to make a change. Then make a plan to make the change, right? Make a plan to make the change, to make the transition. Don't do abrupt, don't just up and leave. Your bills won't stop coming because you've chosen to follow your passions. And a lot of people have regretted those decisions. We hear about the ones that become successful. We hear about the Bill Gates, or he quit Harvard, or Mark Zuckerberg. Like we hear about those ones. We don't hear about the several who did not make it, or the several who had to go back to their jobs or find another job that probably they even liked less, right? Because they abruptly quit to pursue passion. So don't be abrupt with your decision making. Have a plan. Now you've come to a place where, okay, this thing I do, I find no satisfaction doing this, but it pays the bills. Okay, how do I start making a plan to make a transition? And this is what, for the thing you like, you might need to acquire some additional skills. You might need to invest more in yourself and all of that. So have a plan, basically, is where, and I'm stressing this, have a plan. Please don't be abrupt. Don't get frustrated because you don't just like this and there's no satisfaction and then you up and leave. Again, those bills will come due. Today's 28th. It's going to come due very soon. All right. So have the boldness to pivot when necessary, but again, have a plan. You want to get into entrepreneurship, maybe start saving towards, okay, I need to have a cushion for the periods where my business is not making money. Maybe you need to start the business as a side gig while you're working your day job, right? Whatever it is, have a plan. Have a plan. Don't be afraid to pivot where required. Continuous growth and purpose refinement is something you are going to need. This alignment is not a one-time thing. It's going to evolve with the seasons in your life. And this is another thing people don't necessarily think about is they feel like this purpose is is one direction. I feel like as your life evolves, what is important to you today is not going to be what's important to you tomorrow. Depending on the phase of your life that you're in. I remember being early career stages. All that mattered to me was that. Right. There was a season when I was just, finishing college and then trying to get started. I was just excited about certifications and skill acquisition. And I got pumped about learning new things and getting certified. You move into the stage where, okay, now I want to make money. And so the focus is who pays me the most. Like I moved in between jobs based on the highest bidder. It wasn't about like I was good at this thing. I knew what I was doing. I was excellent. I was great. And so start the business. I was do the job, and that's season. And next, I started the family. Stability became priority. What jobs gives me this? That gives me the flexibility to spend time with my kids, run my business, and so you purpose or this alignment to shift depending on the stage in your life and career where you are. Um, always have that continuous growth and purpose alignment. Okay, it's not a one-time thing. It's going to be a continuous thing. It's going to evolve with seasons of your life. And so I believe it's this is something if you're a person of faith like myself, you have to prayerfully navigate. Right, you have to prayerfully navigate. I truly believe this is, again, it's in seasons, life's in seasons. Where you are today is going to be different for next season. What do I need to be doing? And it's a question you constantly need to be asking. And then again, if you're a person of faith, you're constantly asking God, like, okay, what do I need to be doing now? Right? This is how I'm feeling. It's a constant and continuous, ongoing alignment. And so, so just start again. It starts with going back to where we started. Just start with asking questions, right? Journal your questions. What matters to me the most beyond my paycheck, right? I want you to start asking these questions, right? Beyond my paycheck, what's really important to me? When do I feel most alive at work? What part of this job excites me the most? And say that if fear and money were not issues, what would I do? And again, these questions, we've seen this in very different circles, different people, different motivational people talk about this. If money was not an issue, what would I do? What career path would I take? And then, that's it. So this week, my challenge to you is take one step towards aligning your career with your purpose. Whether it's making that list, it's beginning to do that alignment mapping, whatever. The one thing from this conversation, please take some time to this week start thinking about it. If you have a plan, you can do this. So I've taken to make sure your purpose is aligned, your career is aligned with your purpose. I have to wrap it up here because of time, and I exactly around 30 minutes. So I'm going to wrap it up here. But please make sure you are connecting with us here at the African Men Collective. We have a lot of initiatives that we're driving. But on the 28th, 25th of October, we have an advocacy summit. And it's really something to stir up and encourage our people, Africans, African diaspora, African immigrants, to start getting involved to have more participation and involvement in the ecosystem that decides how we live, right? Immigration, policy making, all of those things. We need to be a part of that process, and we want to make sure we are driving that conversation. So make sure you go on. The registration links will go live September 1st. So once it goes live, please make sure you sign up. But mark your time, mark the calendar that day. It's going to be a hybrid event. If you're in Atlanta, we'd love to have you in person. If you're not in Atlanta, you can join online. We'll provide all of those details when you sign up. But I'm excited about that because it's a groundbreaking flagship event. that we are launching, and we hope to continue the initiative as we grow as an organization. Um, and please, there's opportunities to be involved within the African American Collective. We do a lot of programming. We need volunteers. We need people with skill, or people who just want to be available. Connect with us, reach out and ask us how you can get involved. We'll get you plugged in. There's so much going on as we build this thing out. We are making progress in it, where we're making strides. We're connecting to different people who are passionate about the same things we're passionate about. And if that's you, maybe your organization, connect with us. We'd love to see how we can work together. All right. Well, I got to get out of here, but thank you so much for listening to me. I will see you same time next week for another exciting episode of Thriving Beyond Borders with Nnamdi. Till then, God bless you and enjoy the rest of your week.